Hey everyone, welcome back to English Chats Daily. I am Eva and I am here with my friend George. Today we are talking about something very interesting.
Hello, everyone. Yes, today's topic is really fun, and I think almost every person in the world has experienced it.
That is right, George. So let me start with a quick story. Imagine you walk into a room. You meet someone new, they smile at you and they say their name. You say hello back, and then, just 5 seconds later, the name is completely gone from your memory.
Yes, Eva, that happens to so many people. You're not alone. And today we want to explain why this happens. We will use very simple English so everyone can understand.
Great! So, George, let me ask you the first question. Why do we forget names so quickly? It feels a little strange, right? The person is standing right in front of us, they tell us their name, and we still forget it almost immediately.
It does feel strange, Eva, but there's actually a good reason for it. When we meet someone new, our brain is not only listening to their name, it's doing many other things at the same time.
Oh, really? Like what things?
Well, think about it. When you meet someone new for the first time, you're thinking about how you look. You're thinking about what this new person thinks of you. You're also trying to decide what to say next. Your brain is very busy in that moment.
Wow, that makes sense. So our brain has too many jobs to do at once. It's thinking about our hair, our clothes, our words, and then the name gets lost somewhere in all of that.
Exactly, Eva. The brain can only focus on a limited number of things at the same time. Scientists call this our attention. And when our attention is split between many things, some information does not get saved properly. The name is usually the first thing to disappear.
I love that explanation. It's like trying to carry too many bags at the same time. You drop one of them, and the name is the bag that falls.
That's a perfect way to picture it, Eva. Very well said. The name is the bag that drops first. Okay, so the brain is busy during introductions. That explains part of it. But George, I have another question. Sometimes I hear a word like apple or cat, and I remember it very easily. But a name like Jonathan or Priya, I forget right away. Why is that different?
That's a really good question, Eva. And this is one of the most interesting parts. Words like apple or cat have meaning. When you hear the word apple, your brain immediately creates a picture. You see a red or green fruit, you maybe even think about the taste.
Yes, I can almost taste it right now just hearing the word.
Right. But when someone says their name, for example, Michael or Sarah, your brain does not automatically create a picture. The name does not have a meaning connected to it. It's just a sound, and sounds without meaning are much harder for the brain to hold on to.
Oh, I never thought about it that way. Names are just sounds. They don't paint a picture in our minds. So the brain doesn't have anything to hold on to.
Exactly. The brain loves pictures and connections. When there's no picture and no connection, the information slips away very quickly. Names are especially hard because most names don't mean anything in our everyday life.
That's so interesting. So our brain is actually working perfectly normal. It's not broken. It's just following its own rules.
That's right, Eva. Forgetting names is completely normal. It doesn't mean you have a bad memory. It just means your brain works a certain way, and once you understand how it works, you can help it do better.
I like that. Understanding the brain helps us work with it, not against it. Okay, Eva, let's keep going. You mentioned attention earlier. Can you tell us more about that? How does attention connect to remembering names? Of course, attention is really the key here. Think about this simple example. If someone whispers something to you while you are watching your favorite movie, you probably will not remember what they said.
Yes, that happens to me all the time. I'm watching a show and someone talks to me and I have no idea what they just said.
Exactly. Your attention was somewhere else. The same thing happens when we meet new people. If you are nervous, distracted, or thinking about other things, your attention is not fully on the person in front of you. So when they say their name, your brain doesn't really catch it.
So it's not that we forgot the name, it's more like we never really heard it properly in the first place.
That's a very smart way to say it, Eva. The name never really entered the brain fully. You can't remember something that your brain did not receive properly. Attention is the door. If the door is closed, the information can't get in.
Wow, I really like that. Attention is the door. That is so easy to understand. And I think many English learners can also relate to this. Sometimes when we are nervous speaking English, we miss what people say because we are thinking about our own words.
Yes, that is a great point. Being nervous in a new language makes attention even harder. Your brain is working extra hard just to understand the language, so there is even less space for remembering names.
That is so relatable. Okay, George. Now I want to understand a little more about how memory works. Can you explain it in simple words, like what happens inside our brain when we hear a new name?
Sure, Eva, I'll keep it very simple. Our brain has two types of memory. One is called short-term memory, the other is called long-term memory.
Okay, short term and long term. What is the difference?
Short-term memory is like a small notepad. Information goes there first, but it doesn't stay long. It's temporary. If you don't do something with that information, it disappears in just a few seconds or a few minutes.
So, when someone tells me their name, it goes onto that small notepad first, and if I do nothing, it gets erased very quickly.
Perfect, Eva. That's exactly right. Now, long-term memory is different. It's like a large storage room. Information there can stay for years, even a lifetime. But to move information from the notepad to the storage room, you need to do something with it.
Like what? What do you need to do?
You can repeat it. You can use it. You can connect it to something you already know. If you just hear a name once and do nothing with it, it stays on the notepad and then it disappears. But if you repeat it, say it out loud, or use it in a sentence, the brain says, okay, this is important. Let me keep it.
That makes so much sense. So, the brain is like a very efficient system. It only keeps what it thinks it needs. I find that amazing. Okay, now I think everyone listening wants to know the same thing. How do we actually get better at remembering names? What are some simple tricks we can use?
Great question, Eva. And the good news is that the tricks are really simple. You don't need to be a scientist to use them.
I love simple tricks. Let's hear them.
Okay, the first trick is to repeat the name right away. When someone tells you your name, say it back immediately. You can say something like, "Oh, nice to meet you, David." This sends the name from your short-term notepad towards your long-term storage. It gives the brain a second chance to hear and register the name.
That is such a simple but smart idea. And it also sounds very polite and friendly. The other person will probably feel good that you use their name.
Yes, that is true. Using someone's name makes them feel seen and respected. So it's good for your memory and good for the relationship at the same time.
I like that. Two benefits in one action. Okay, what's the second trick?
The second trick is to use the name again during the conversation. Don't just say it once and then forget it. Try to use it naturally a second or a third time while you're talking. This repetition tells your brain that this name is worth remembering.
Right, so instead of just saying, that's interesting, you could say, that's interesting, Maria. Something like that?
Exactly like that, Eva. Each time you say the name, you're helping your brain move it from the small notepad to the bigger storage room.
Okay, that makes total sense. What's the next trick?
The third trick is to create a small mental picture. Try to connect the name to something visual in your mind. For example, if someone's name is Rose, you can picture a flower. If someone's name is Victor, maybe you picture someone winning a race or holding a trophy.
Oh, that is creative. And it is using exactly what we talked about earlier, right? The brain loves pictures. So we're giving the name a picture to hold on to.
Perfectly said, Eva. You are giving the sound a meaning. You are creating a connection. And connections are what our brain uses to store and find information later.
I want to try this the next time I meet someone. What about people whose names do not connect easily to a picture? Like some names are very unique and do not remind you of any common word.
That is a fair point. In that case, you can be creative. Try to connect the name to the way the person looks, or to something they said, or to a feeling you had when you met them. Even a small connection is helpful. It does not need to be perfect.
So even an imperfect picture is better than no picture at all. Got it. Any more tricks?
Yes, one more important trick, and maybe the most important one. Focus for just 1 second when you hear the name. Just one moment of real attention. Before you think about what to say next, before you worry about how you look, pause for just 1 second and truly hear the name.
That sounds so simple, but I bet most of us do not actually do that. We hear the name and immediately our brain moves on to other thoughts.
That's exactly the problem. We hear, but we don't really listen. There's a difference. Hearing is passive. Listening is active. When you truly listen for just that 1 second, you give the name a real chance to enter your brain properly.
Hearing versus listening. I love that distinction. That is a great English lesson too. Many learners confuse those two words. So now we know the difference not just in English, but in how our brain works.
That is right. And it is a small habit. It does not take extra time. It just takes a small shift in attention. 1 second of real focus can change everything.
Okay, let me quickly review all the tricks so our listeners can remember them clearly. First, repeat the name right away when you hear it. Second, use the name again naturally during the conversation. Third, create a small mental picture connected to the name. And fourth, focus for just 1 second when you first hear the name. Did I get them all right, George?
You got them perfectly, Eva. Those 4 simple habits can make a big difference. And the great thing is that anyone can start using them today, right after finishing this episode.
I love that. No special equipment needed, no courses to take, just small changes in how we pay attention. George, I also want to say something to our listeners who are learning English.
Please go ahead, Eva. I think this will be really helpful for them.
So, if you are learning English and you often forget words or names in English, please do not feel bad. Your brain is working extra hard already. It's processing a language that's not your first one. It's natural to forget more when you're also focused on understanding and speaking.
That is so true, Eva. Learning a language takes a lot of brain energy. When your attention is focused on understanding new vocabulary or grammar, there's less energy left for remembering names. This is completely normal and temporary.
And the same tricks work in any language too. You can repeat a name in English to help remember it. You can use the name in your English conversation. It's good practice for your English and good training for your memory at the same time.
Absolutely. In fact, for English learners, practicing with names is a wonderful way to build conversation confidence. When you use someone's name naturally in a sentence, you sound more fluent and more natural in English.
Yes, I agree. Small things like using names make a big difference in how natural your English sounds. Okay, George, let us talk about one more thing before we wrap up. Why do some people seem to remember names so well? Like some people meet 50 new people at a party and remember everyone's name the next day. How is that possible?
That's a great question, and the answer is not that those people have special brains, it's that they've built better habits. They've practiced paying attention during introductions. They automatically repeat names. They naturally make connections. Over time, these habits become easy and automatic.
So it's a skill, not a gift. Anyone can get better at it with practice.
Exactly. Memory for names is a skill. Like any skill, it gets stronger with practice. The people who seem naturally good at remembering names have usually just practiced these habits more, often without even realizing it.
That's very encouraging. So we shouldn't compare ourselves to those people and feel bad. We should just focus on building the same habits slowly.
Right, and even small progress is real progress. If you remember one more name than usual after your next social event, that's a win. Celebrate that small success and keep going.
I love that attitude. Small wins matter. Okay, let's wrap up with a positive message. George, what is the main thing you want our listeners to take away from today's conversation?
I want everyone to remember this. Forgetting names doesn't mean you have a bad memory. It doesn't mean you're not smart. It simply means your brain is following its normal rules. And now that you understand those rules, you can work with your brain instead of fighting against it.
Beautiful. And I want to add this. Be kind to yourself. Everyone forgets names. Even very intelligent and successful people forget names all the time. It is one of the most human things there is. You are not alone.
And with just 4 small habits, you can already start improving. Repeat the name. Use it in conversation. Make a small mental picture and give it 1 second of real attention. These 4 things are enough to make a real difference.
Perfect summary, George. I feel like I already learned something useful today, and I hope everyone listening did too. Whether you are a native English speaker or someone learning English as a second language, today's topic is useful for all of us.
Absolutely. Understanding how the brain works helps us in so many areas of life, and talking about it in simple English means everyone can benefit from this knowledge.
Well said. Okay, everyone, that is the end of today's episode of English Chats Daily. Thank you so much for listening. We hope this conversation was easy to follow and interesting to listen to.
If you are learning English, just the fact that you listen to this full episode is something to be proud of. Your English is improving every single day, even when you do not notice it.
That is so true. Every episode you listen to is building your vocabulary, your listening skills, and your understanding of natural English conversation. So keep going. You're doing great.
And if you found today's episode helpful, please subscribe to English Chats Daily so you never miss a new conversation. We post new episodes regularly, and every episode is designed to help you improve your English in a relaxed and enjoyable way.
Yes, subscribe and tell a friend who is also learning English. Sharing is one of the best ways to support this channel and to help other learners just like you. We really appreciate every single one of you who listens and shares.
Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep practicing your English every day, and remember, small steps every day lead to big changes over time.
See you in the next episode of English Chats Daily. Bye for now, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone, and remember, your name is worth remembering, and so is your English journey. Keep going.